Whenever trust is lost in a nation and in any relationship, it creates tremendous struggles and tremendous problems in any society. And the struggles and drama playing out in the United States for the past 60 years in general, and 10 years in particular, are indicative of a much greater crisis of trust. Trust is an elusive concept. I always tell my students, I lecture to a group of CPAs, that trust is a gift that you give someone else. It's yours and yours alone. No one can demand to be trusted. Someone asked me one time, he said, can you get trust back if you've lost it? And I said, it's extraordinarily difficult. You've got to want to get it back. And it's only by this consistent commitment to wanting to get trust back can you even remotely hope to rebuild that trust and earn it back. You have to earn it back. There's a concept I use, it's called the triangle of trust. It's a basis for true leadership. And it goes this way. The triangle of trust is to believe is to have faith, and to have faith is to trust, which completes the triangle. This election that we saw in the United States in 2016, in which President Trump became president, was as much about the lack of trust that the electorate has in government than it was about President Trump. The government's lost touch. We had lost faith, we the people. Trump then became president. You know, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, there's a battle going on currently relative to a severance tax, which will set the stage for the state's financial success or demise. The battle's with the bill. The national implication of this bill, which now has over 390 amendments, is significant. The merits of the severance tax notwithstanding, the bill and the reaction to the bill reflects a deep-seated mistrust in government. It's about those people who believe that you can just increase taxes, or those people believe you need to make government more efficient. When parties on either side of the debate engage in a situation in which the reality is substantially different than what the populists believe, there becomes a societal lack in trust in us. And this sets the stage for absolute paralysis in government, and we're seeing it with the budget and Commonwealth and the severance tax. The argument that government needs more tax revenue when it will not even remotely consider reducing expenditures is laughable at best. You know, I've been doing turnarounds of financially troubled organizations for most of my life, over 40 years. And one of the first things that we do whenever someone struggles financially is to recognize that you have to get your financial house in order, which means you have to spend according to what you have. No one in the world other than government can go out and spend what they want and then direct an increase to the customer. We're the customer. When government refuses to consider spending reductions, the need for additional revenue is questioned and motives become challenged. And once we challenge government's motives, we're basically saying we just don't trust our government any longer. For instance, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I introduced a bill, House Bill 1691, in which the government was saying that we wish to reduce the spending. And that bill has got 30 co-sponsors, and it hasn't moved anywhere. We've lost our trust in government's ability to restrain itself and to be a good financial custodian of the taxpayer dollars. The swamp, as much as people may hate that term, is fighting desperately on this severance tax issue, because it serves as a barometer that the bureaucracy is fighting not to be drained or constrained in any way. To be clear, in my life as a CPA and a financial restructuring expert, I can assure you that there's no amount of money that you can give any government that will cure its problems. Governments operate outside of a free market system, and they have no restraint on it until it goes bankrupt, or candidly until its citizens do. Government has an insatiable appetite for cash, yours. This is not about a severance tax. House Bill 1401 is not about severance tax. It's about taxation in general. It's about the general mode of operation within government to exercise its will against the better wishes of sound fiscal policy. In the case of the severance tax, there's popular support to enact it, if you read the polls, because people who are passing the law won't have to pay for it. Of course they're more than happy to pass the tax. They don't have to pay it themselves. But it's disingenuous to pass a tax because you can inflict that pain on someone else. The greater the divide occurs when the people no longer trust the government that was elected to serve them. People are reacting and demanding change, and they're not happy about this paralysis at all levels. Until we enact meaningful restraints on government and give power back to the people, we will never see faith and trust restored, and there could become a financial collapse in the Commonwealth. To trust is to believe is to have faith, and to have faith is to trust. Our elected leaders over the decades have broken that trust, and we must work diligently to rebuild that trust, or all will be lost. So when you see this severance tax debate that's playing out in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, please recognize it's not about the severance tax. It's about whether or not the government's got enough of your money, or should it be forced to live on a financial diet that every single citizen in the Commonwealth has had to do for decades. Thank you so much. I'm Frank Ryan. I represent the 101st District, and I look forward to hearing from you.